Welcome to the What's Our Verdict podcast, where we fashion ourselves cinematic judge and jury. My name's JJ Crowder. I'm here with my co-host, Mattson Heiner.
Better red than dead.
Javier Ortiz.
What is up, my nerds?
And Ian Anderson.
Some shit.
We appreciate your help growing the podcast. Go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification button. Check out our website, whatsourverdict.com, where you sign up for our newsletter, get our exclusive content and updates, pick up some sweet, sweet merch, interact with us, and listen to our What's Our Verdict TV podcast as well. This is our spoiler-free review. Our deep dive reviews are available every Monday wherever fine podcasts are found: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Ghana, just to name a few. And as always, completely free to watch or listen. The question we always ask is, if you ever find yourself wondering if you should spend the time, money, or both on a movie. To help with that question, each week we put a movie on trial, discuss the facts, pass judgment, and let you know our verdict. This is our spoiler-free review again. We will rate these movies on a 3-tiered scale. Worth it, meaning you should watch this movie as soon as possible. Stream it, meaning wait until you can watch it for free at the comfort of your own home. And finally, not impressed, meaning you shouldn't watch it at all. Today we're reviewing Cruella. It was released May 28th, 2021. It was written by Dana Fox and Tony McNamara. It was directed by Craig Gillespie. It stars Emma Stone, Emma Thompson, Joel Fry, Paul Walter Hauser, and Mark Strong. It is a live-action prequel following a young Cruella de Vil. It was the shortest intro line I've ever gotten from IMDb. So thanks, IMDb.
That's it. That's their log line.
That's their log line. Yeah,
okay.
That's their tagline for this movie.
That explains exactly nothing.
What was IMDb's tagline we had? It was like the best. Oh, they just, I can't remember which one. They said it was like the best action movie ever or something.
Oh, yeah. No, it was like some sort of like the best heist ever. Or the
Was it Army of the Dead?
It was Army of the
Dead.
It was like the greatest heist on ever attempted or some shit.
My nephew texted me the other day, and he was like, "Have you seen Army of the Dead yet? It's awesome. It's like my favorite zombie movie." And I'm like,
"No,
cool, good for you, buddy."
How old is he?
He's like 20.
Yeah, that's when they just invalidate. You don't watch a movie with them again. You're like, yeah, we're never doing that. I want to ask IMDb who approves these short movie blurbs, because they seem to be some are longer, some are very short, and you're like, there needs to be some. We need to have Ian write those. He does good with these movie summaries.
It's true.
I actually agree with this summary because I feel like they put the appropriate amount of effort that this movie deserves.
Fair enough.
All right. Is Ian kicking it off then?
As I say, it sounds like Ian's ready to start giving us a spoiler.
Wow, I think I'm going to be... Am I the only one that kind of liked this movie then?
We'll find out.
This movie, I'm not excited to start talking about it. I'm excited to stop talking about it. I struggled with this one. I'm not going to say a ton in the spoiler-free because there's only so many things I can gripe about without giving stuff away. But it was just weird story like that. I feel like if you are going to make an origin story about you should be able to.
Ian, you're breaking up so bad.
Movie and I'm sorry.
You're good.
Apparently, my internet connection doesn't agree with me. So maybe somebody else should go.
Your internet connection also doesn't want to talk to you about this movie.
Well, there's robot Ian over here.
Yeah, as I say, it was quite robot.
Maybe I'll just go right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I watched this with a lot of middle to younger crew. Maybe that helped me feel like this. I don't know. I like the music. I guess I'm impartial. I like Emma Stone, so maybe I came in just enjoying the main character already. Why wouldn't I like this movie? I'm trying to think why you guys wouldn't like this movie, because now I'm scared because everyone seems to really not like this movie. And I didn't mind it. It's not a great movie. It didn't seem like a bad movie to me, but I don't know. I mean, I was entertained. It was definitely long, and the part of her kind of going psychotic wasn't really believable to me. That's my biggest gripe with this movie. We can get into that later. But the rest of it, the music, the scenery, the comedic relief, the bad woman, I don't know. It was like an average run-of-the-mill movie. I don't have a lot more to say than that. I'm not passionate about it, but I'm also just really curious to hear from the peanut gallery about what the boomstick we're going to lay in this movie, and I'm quite excited. So hopefully Ian's internet works now, and I'm excited to hear Javier just lay into whoever he's going to beat up, and I'm going to listen. But for me, it wasn't a bad movie, wasn't a great movie. I probably will end up watching again with kids and put it on the background. If that's the case, I wouldn't mind it, but I'm not going to seek it out.
So what are you rating it?
Stream it, because I didn't have to pay for it. Thank JJ. JJ, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to pay for it, I think my opinion would change. JJ, I'll send you money. You know I do. I got you.
I'll send you money in 6 months.
Yeah.
After someone
JJ knows I'm good.
$30.
I jackhammered part of JJ's basement.
It's true. It's true. That's fair.
But yeah, I think that maybe helped as well, because if I was spending 30 on my own, I would feel very, very differently about this movie.
All right. Should we try Ian again? You look
ready.
We'll give it a shot. How are we doing so far?
So far, you're good.
Good.
Hey.
All right. Before I get into my little rant, I'll just say not impressed. Not that way. Internet cuts. You at least got the rating. Anyways, I feel like if you make a villain origin story,
It's like as soon as we started.
I think we got the gist, Ian.
He's not impressed.
Yeah. Not impressed. Just picture Superman's face.
Like it. We'll just picture Ian in a black Superman suit.
Ian, you can start texting us everything you want us to say.
There you go.
I'll say it in my best Ian voice.
Ian,
I'll have Google read it.
There you go. If we have any fans that work for an internet company in Utah, just come on, guys, get that out there in that country. All right, so I don't know. I'm so torn on this movie. Like, there are aspects of it that I really enjoy. Like, I like Emma Stone. I love Emma Thompson. She's amazing in everything she does, and she brought it in this movie in a lot of ways. She played that cold, heartless, mean villain very well. But I also have a fond memory, because I'm so old, of watching the original 101 Dalmatians as a kid, and so it's like I have a hard time with some of these like villain recreations, even though I don't know. It's kind of like I don't love the one with Angelina Jolie too, like with the Sleeping Beauty villain, Maleficent.
Oh, Maleficent?
Yeah.
I actually really like that movie.
Yeah, I don't enjoy either of those, because again, like, they're villains to me. I don't want to see. I don't know. It's my childhood thing. I just don't enjoy that. So there's a part that's already up against these movies for me, regardless. But there were parts that I enjoyed, to be honest. The henchman Jasper and what's his name? Horace. Those two cracked me up throughout this movie.
Hori Coon.
Yeah, exactly. Hori Coon. Yeah.
I love that little dog with the eye.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the dogs were great, other than I couldn't handle the puppies. Like,
the CGI
animated puppies
were horrific.
It bothered me. It took me way out of this movie. But I don't know. Like, but it's not the worst movie I've ever watched. Like, there were entertaining parts. I found myself laughing against my will. And then I found myself like an hour and 15 minutes in going, holy shit, there's still a lot of movie left in this movie. It was very long. 2 hours and 15 minutes is way too much for this movie. Way too much. It dragged on for me. But I've seen worse. Yeah, I'm with Madsen. Don't pay $30 for this movie. Wait for like 3 or 4 months, and it's going to be free on Disney Plus, and you'll probably be able to find it in other places like Amazon for $5, whatever it is. Just wait, and I'll give it a stream it, because, like, I don't know, it was okay, I guess. It was average, but I'm not going to seek it out.
JJ, you bring up a good point. I don't remember anything about the Cruella and like the original ones very much, so I didn't go in with really any of that. And I definitely think that could have affected me. We take like Mulan that we all watched last year. I just shredded that movie because of some of the expectations I had. I didn't have any really for this. So that's a good point.
Yeah. Yep. And I did, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
I was waiting for Javier. Let's unleash the beast.
All right, Javier.
I don't know if I hated it as much as you think I do, Mattson, but I'm sitting here trying to think of good things to say about it. So I'll start with that, which is the acting is actually really good. So this is more of a failure on like the writer side than it is on the acting side, and also the CGI side, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
Because apparently you can't train dogs to do any of this shit.
Yeah, I was like, what happened with just having a dog? Like,
yeah,
this dog's like opening a door, right?
Wouldn't they have paid like way more to put a crappy CGI dog than a real dog?
Wouldn't it be cheaper to find like a trained dog?
Had to. And it's
okay.
not like the puppy versions, which are the ones that were heavily CGI, did anything. Like,
right?
They were just
flying.
Yeah, they were just fucking puppies. Like, just let them be puppies. Anyway, go ahead, Javier.
And I found that I really disliked the movie in the beginning, and then later I was like, okay, I'm starting to like this a little bit more. Whereas usually it's the opposite, where I'm like, oh, I could get behind this movie, and then you slowly start disliking it. So that was a unique and interesting experience for me. I think my overall issue with this is what JJ said, which is Cruella is an evil bitch in the original one. She is a sadistic, narcissistic lunatic. And in this one, she just has like, what?
I just said preach. I'm agreeing with you.
Thank you. And in this one, Cruella has like split personality disorder. Like that's her thing, I guess. But she's not evil enough for me. You know who is though? Is the Baroness. She was a great Cruella. I was like, yeah, this is the Cruella that I imagine, like this homicidal maniac. So I just had an issue because at the end of the movie, that can't lead into the childhood 101 Dalmatian Cruella that we know and hate, right? So anyway, as far as prequel goes, I don't think it did the job of building this character into what it is. So anyway, lots of issues with it, but like those are probably my main ones.
That's a really I give you that. There's still a huge gap of how she got to what we know way later on.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So I'm gonna so I think I'm gonna give it a stream it, but it is a very low stream it or a very high not impressed. Like I could be convinced to give it a not impressed, if I'm being honest.
Well, let me tell you what, Javier.
Convince me, Ian.
Well, I would, but my internet won't let me. So maybe I'll convince you in the full deep dive.
Yeah. Speaking of, there's our spoiler-free review. Seems like it's a mediocre movie at best. Ian definitely has some strong feelings, and I think it'll lead to an interesting conversation in the deep dive because I do have some things that I want to talk about down the road that Javier and I went down with. It's not, to me, inadequate, especially where they leave it off at the end, which I don't want to talk about. But if you watch like the mid-credit scene, it really doesn't earn the ability to do what they did in the mid-credit scene. So with that, we appreciate you tuning into the spoiler-free. Mattson, tell them where else they can find us.
You know, if you're out there on the internet, you're on your phone, and you need something to listen to, check us out at whatsupreddit.com. Click on the Spotify app, Apple Podcasts, Ghana. I mean, it doesn't matter. We're there. We're here for you. Listen to us. You want to check us out on social media? We happen to be there too. We're really big on Facebook and Instagram. You want to make fun of Javier? Leave us a review. Check out our YouTube channel. I mean, we're around.
That's the only criteria to leave a review.
If you want, let's put in this key plug. If you want to see Javier watch a scary movie, aka The Conjuring, let us know, people.
I'm not watching The Conjuring.
We need this to happen.
No, we don't.
Let us know.
I have already watched more horror in the last year and a half than I have my entire life.
See,
My whole life.
We're helping you.
No. I didn't sleep well all this week, stressing about the potential of maybe watching The Conjuring. Can you imagine if I actually watched that? Jeez.
Dude, if I'd have known you were already stressed about it, I'd have just made you watch it instead of
You
giving
guys
you
are
the choice.
sadists.
And then I
That's what
wouldn't have had
you
to
are.
watch this movie that we just watched.
There's no way that this movie is worse than The Conjuring. So,
it absolutely.
in fact, with
probably
that
is.
context in mind, I'm going to say worth it. Yeah, change mine to worth it.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not changing it. Oh, shit. That's funny. But yeah, sure. I'll tell you what. If you want me to try to convince Javier again, reach out. Send us an email. We'll talk to him about it. But request, or even better,
go away.
Hit me up on private, or hit us up on DMs, or hit me up on the email, and maybe there's some financial reward that you could provide Javier that would allow him to. I can provide you with a nice link.
Dude, should we do an OnlyFans for Javier?
An OnlyFans.
No, what we need to do.
How do you see this going,
Javier.
Matson? Exactly.
Because somebody's got to edit that shit, and I ain't doing it.
I don't. How would I even get it up watching The Conjuring?
Hey, yours is a PG. Yours is a PG OnlyFans. Okay, I don't know where you're going with this. I'm just saying.
Oh, that exists. That's a thing.
I don't know. Whatever you want it to be.
I feel like there's other platforms that we could use.
That might be less. Yeah, just OnlyFans sounded funnier for a second.
Okay. Anyway,
someone dying somewhere. There's some ambulances going on. They're coming.
I live by a fire station.
They're coming to get Javier. He's had a heart attack from thinking about watching a scary movie. No, but hit us up. I will start, however, a Patreon where, a certain amount of money every month, and I'll make sure Javier watches a certain amount of horror movies every year.
That's fucked up, guys.
I can make sure that happens. And then we'll find something like, for me, it'll be like, JJ, we have to review a certain amount of sports movies.
No. JJ has to get shit-faced drunk and review a movie as often as I have to review a scary movie.
Sold. I'm in. There's 2 rewards.
All right.
So why is JJ gonna say no to that?
Because have you listened to him speak drunk? Man, talk about an editing disaster. Jeez.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm in 100%. So yeah, email us or something. Hit us up with there's got to be some other rewards we can offer, but I'm down. I did want to do a quick shout out. We did hit speaking of social media, we like to do this. So we got hit up. I don't know if you guys saw it. I know Matson, you don't hop on the Twitter too often, but we did get a shout out on Twitter. So a guy named username let's see, at Wildcard Movies. I guess he's got a sports podcast. You got to check it out, Matson. They talk all things sports, but he gave us a nice shout out. I really appreciated it. He said he talked about us in another podcast that I listened to, Raiders of the Lost podcast. So shout out to both those guys. He said, where was it? I gotta pull it up here. Sorry. Oh yeah, my 2 favorite film podcasts to listen to right now are at Raiders Lost Pod and at What's Our Verdict. And then he talks about how different we are, because we are very different from Raiders Lost Pod. But they just did Knives Out. It was an interesting review to listen to, because they talk about the cinematography. They talk about all the shit we don't talk about. We talk about.
See,
it's very different.
We complete each other. Anyway, cool. Thanks for the shout out.
It's funny I brought it up because I thought at some point we might be able to ask one or both of these guys to collab, because I know Matson can get on and talk sports all day long with these guys. They're currently talking about basketball, the NBA playoffs. So
JJ, farm me out to them, dude. I'm there.
Yeah. So anyway,
I love sports any way I can find it.
So yeah, Unspoken Montana, hit us up. I'm sure Matson would love to guest host on your pod, and maybe we can have you on to review a movie. So with that being said, and a lot of editing for me to come, we'll catch you on the next one.
Will we?
Bye-bye now.
Maybe not.
Yeah, that really got away from us, guys.
Yeah.